Capricorn, how are you doing? Welcome to my channel. Adrian here, psychic medium and regression hypnosis practitioner. I hope that you're doing really great. This reading is going to focus on love. All right, it is a general reading, so please take it as it resonates. And if you maybe feel that you want even more to add to the reading for you, I recommend that you maybe also look at the reading for your moon sign, which is your emotions, or for your Venus, which is your love. And if you don't know where those placements are, there's a link in the description that can actually show it to you. Okay, so I've already done your September reading. After I'm done with these, I'm going to do some new love readings and some twin flame readings. And if you want to be sure that you catch all of those when I put them out, then subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, because then you get notified every time when a reading comes out. I would also really appreciate you liking the video, because every time you like the video, it helps my channel to grow, which I really appreciate, along with all the beautiful donations that are being made to me. I really appreciate it. And I want to say thank you so much. I really deserve it with every part of my being. While I'm drawing the cards for you, I also just want to let you know that I am running a special for the month of September, and that is for a 30 minutes reading, and it's either $25 or in South African money, it's 350 rands. Okay, so let's see what we got. So excited, Capricorn. And let's see what we've got for you for a challenge. Okay. All right, then, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at where you currently are. We're going to look at you, everything in this current moment right here and right now. All right. We're not going to look too much into the past, because you already get the past, you know. Then we're going to look at some challenges that you have, some things to overcome, some guidance that the universe would like to offer you. And then we're going to look at the potential outcome, which is a beautiful potential outcome. Like, this is the sort of potential outcome that anybody wants to have, and also the person that you are dealing with. But before we do any of those, let's have a look at the message that the universe itself would like to share with you, Capricorn. I hope that you're doing well. It says, there. Like, this can't be more forward and straightforward to the point. Create space for new love. All right, create space for new beauty, for new abundance, for more happiness, for new joy, for new experiences. So you are not invited, Capricorn, to just sort of repeat the same sort of blah that you would have had before. You are being invited for something brand new, and for something beautiful, and for something that makes your heart smile, and for something that lights you up. You know, you are invited here for a beautiful new experience in love, one that just fills every part of your being. You know what I'm saying? And also, obviously, Capricorn, when we look into your reading, you're going to understand more what it is that I'm speaking about. We're also going to clarify the reading for you. But you are being really invited here to let go of certain things that might have been holding you back, because there is such beauty that's available for you. A little bit trippy, but not to worry about that, because, you know, we're going to speak about all of that. All right. At the back of the card, it says, when a thing hurts your eyes, stop looking at it. When it hurts your ears, stop listening, you know. And when it hurts your heart, stop justifying it. And especially that last part, when it hurts your heart, stop justifying it. It says, I love you so much, the universe. You know, and the thing is, Capricorn, so many times when we come across something that, you know, that does hurt our heart and that does hurt our feelings, we as human beings, we have this tendency sometimes to sort of like plaster over it, you know, and to sort of make it okay, and to make excuses, and to maybe make excuses for other people. And, you know, especially if you've been doing that in a sort of a love space, you know, maybe you've been making excuses for somebody that is not serving the best positive way. What I do find, though, or what I do feel, though, Capricorn, is that some of you might be in a connection that it might be pointed out to you by multiple people that this is maybe not the best connection for you, and you might be making excuses for that. Oh, but you all don't understand, and like, when we are together, this is not how it is. So don't, you know, I feel that for some of you, there's almost like they're defending, you know, a person or a pattern, or a situation, circumstance that doesn't really serve you in the best positive way. And you're being encouraged to not really do that because it doesn't really make logical sense, and there is so much more that is available for you. All right, remember, this is a general reading, so please take it as it resonates. But in your current space and where you are at the moment, you've got the uncharted sea. This is an invitation for you to set your sights higher, to set your sights to more, to let you know that there's more available for you, that there's more beauty and more abundance and more sort of like flow, Capricorn, that is available for you. I wouldn't really say any sort of judgment, but there is a space here where and I want you to be honest, as you ask this question to yourself, if you have maybe been sort of, how do I put this? If you've maybe been compromising more of what is fair towards yourself to compromise. Okay, if you've maybe been doing that, and this is not usually something that will just kind of like step in right away and you just do it. It's usually a systematic thing that takes place. I do feel for some of you, you might be in a toxic situation here where your mind might be a little bit played with. You don't always realize or don't always, even feel exactly that you're sure where you are at the moment. If you are playing things right, there might be that your confidence got quite a bit of a knock over here. Okay, and whilst that happens to any of us from time to time, it might be time to, to really, to basically pick yourself up and try again. Okay. And the other thing that's coming up quite strongly here for you, Capricorn, is that for some of you, you might be in the space where you sort of decided, you know what, love is not going to work out for me. I'm not going to do that. Maybe it's just not meant for me. I don't really feel that. I don't really feel that. So what I would say, though, what I do pick up is maybe having the willingness to have the experience that you already have with someone or with a connection, maybe with somebody else, but just in a more amplified way, in a more beautiful way, in a way that actually, sort of like suits you better, that really does actually honor your highest good. So that is really what I'm getting here for you at the moment, okay? And it doesn't necessarily mean that the person that you are with is bad, or that the energy or the connection you're dealing with is bad. It might just be that they're bad for you. That maybe you're not the best match for each other. The challenge at the moment, the guidance from the universe, exposed and revealed. Okay, so there might be some little bit of nasty truth here coming to the surface. Things that you don't necessarily want to face and feel and experience. And you know what? If that is what you're feeling at the moment, I just want to send you some love. I just want to send you some love from my heart. If that is what you're experiencing at the moment, if this is the pain that you're experiencing at the moment, if this is the challenges that you're experiencing at the moment, I just want to send you some love. And know that even though things are coming about here, even though for some of you, some truths might have come out already. For some of you, it might be in the process of coming out. And even though that might be very hurtful, that might be very challenging, and it might be very overwhelming and very painful, there's also a sense of loneliness here that could be in feeling sort of like very isolated, maybe, Capricorn. But this is one of those spaces almost like... when you have to peel off the layers of the onions. And for some of you, you could almost feel like, instead of being the layers being pulled down one by one, it's almost like the layers were taken and just like, the whole thing was just sort of like pulled apart, which can be very challenging, which can be overwhelming. I also feel that for some of you, there is a space of wanting to maybe try again with someone who things didn't work out with before. And just a little bit of a guidance or a challenge that's coming out here for you at the moment, Capricorn, is that, and it's almost like if it didn't work out before, what makes you think it's going to work out now? And I know that people change, but I feel that you sort of, I feel that you're sort of dealing here with a situation where it's sort of done and dusted, and it's kind of time to move on from this one. Okay, so be careful of holding on to a situation so much that it's sort of like past its expiry date. Okay, and so that is quite a challenge, and we're going to speak about that when we clarify. And then you also have seeing beyond. Okay, and this is the outcome for you. This is the potential outcome for you. This is the person that you are dealing with. You are being invited here to really sort of go to that next level, to go to that, that upper sort of next level. And what I would actually recommend for you, Capricorn, is that if you are in the space where you would maybe want to have a change in your relationship, or you're open to being with someone new, is to speak to the universe and to really say, like, I'm open for a bigger relationship, for a bigger connection, for a more beautiful connection, open to a space that honors your greatest good, open to being with someone that actually is going to see you for the divine being that you are. Because where you are at the moment, I can also see in this, I actually picked this up, in not in all, but in almost all the readings, that this is a space where there's such beautiful ascension happening at the moment. There's such beautiful, sort of global ascension happening at the moment, collective, ascension happening at the moment, where everybody's in that space of ascension. And in that space of ascension, which can be very, very challenging sometimes, because you get to see how you sometimes sold yourself short in this world. You get to see what patterns you maybe have that are not serving your greatest good. You get to see the maybe the things that you've done in the past, or the patterns that you might have maintained for a while, or maybe the relationship that you might have had for a while. Because I do feel that for some of you, there is a space here of having to try to hold on to something, but it might be time to let this one go. It might be time to sort of like cut your losses and move on to the next phase, because I feel that you're in this process of awakening and ascending and moving more into your own light, and the more of the beauty and the potential of who you are and who you could potentially become. And because this is in a space, this is your challenge, and this is your potential outcome. This is the space where we begin to see things that are not working out. And I feel that for some of you, you could be in the situation at the moment, especially when it comes to love, because love is such a personal thing and such an emotional thing, that you can be in that space where you are with someone, and maybe there was a plan here. You're going to be together, you're going to live your life, it's going to be fine, you're going to do your thing. And now you might be in a space where you suddenly realize that this is not enough for you anymore, that you need more, that you want more, there's a desire for more. Okay. Let's clarify your reading. We're going to do this overall energy first. Create space for new love. And they're very specific there when they say new love. All right. And new love is also, it doesn't necessarily have to be another person, but it is also that new connection. Not just, sometimes sometimes we say that we're going to try something different or try something new, and it goes well for like 5 or 6 weeks, and then we just sort of like back where we were before. And there is a little bit of a warning coming through here for you, Capricorn, to be mindful that you don't sort of justify yourself straight back into the hamster wheel. You know what I'm saying? And then you've got the Ace of Emotions, which is the Ace of Cups and the Five of Materials. And for the potential outcome for the reading for Sagittarius, they had this Ace of Emotions there, Ace of Cups. So maybe you're dealing with a Sagittarius, or maybe you've got strong Sagittarius in your chart, or maybe you're a cross-watcher, so Sagittarius is maybe dealing with a Capricorn. Okay, it doesn't have to be, but it could be. But I just feel that there's a beautiful connection here available for you, a beautiful new connection available for you, especially for those of you that maybe are feeling that you're not 100% fulfilled in your space, in a connection, in love. You maybe feel that that you want more, or that there should be more, or that there should be a broader experience of love. That is definitely available there for you. But there's a new connection here, there's new love here, there's new possibilities over here. And this is really, it's almost like, I feel that for some of you Capricorn, it's almost like if you imagine that there's something really tight around your chest, you know, you can still move around and you can still, you know, be whatever, but it's a restrictive sort of space. It's a restrictive sort of energy that I'm getting here from you. And it's almost like this new connection that is coming through, this new love that is coming through. It gives you that ability to breathe, to just be you, to just be free, to not have to sort of settle, and to not sort of like have to almost box certain parts of you. Because I feel for some of you, you might be in connection with other people and it might be beautiful and pretty enough, but there is that space of almost boxing yourself in, you know, where you're not living the fullest potential of what you could be of what you could be living in love and in life and in happiness, in your everyday experience of life, because it is there with the Five of Materials, which is the Five of Pentacles. There is a feeling here of not enoughness, and this is not necessarily a space where you are horribly unhappy, but it's not exactly a space where you are thriving either. Now, if you were okay with this would be perfectly fine. You know, if you can be okay with this, if this is, you say that you can do this, you can do this life, no problems, no worries, hunky-dory, no problem. But I feel that for some of you, it's almost like all the proper boxes are ticked, you know, and maybe even if you're with someone and maybe you have had like a ongoing thing for a while, and you know, people are used to seeing you all together, and you know, I want to be honest, respectful but honest. Capricorn, the feeling that I get here, this is almost like a settling sort of feeling. This is a sort of feeling that you are not 100% satisfied, but you may have been in a connection in a space for such a while that in a sense it's sort of become a habit. You know, it's become sort of like a normality, you know, and so you might have reached a point where you're not even thinking about it so much anymore, you know. So there might not even be thoughts of, am I fulfilled, and all those type of things. But then I feel that there's maybe those sometimes, you know, those occasions where you do actually get caught up, where maybe you're just on your own, or you're alone, or you just happen to have some time and you've done everything, and so there's that space of quietness, and then those thoughts are stepping forward. But are you fulfilled? Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Is this enough for you? And I feel that, and for some of you, this could be a very challenging space happening over your Capricorn, because you could be meeting the person that is sort of like, you know, bringing up all those emotions within you, the person that you want to be with, the person that you are getting that sense of fulfillment with. So I get that some of you are actually getting that, but in the same token, you might already be in a connection, you might already be with someone. So that is a very challenging space to be in, because you know, some hearts are gonna, you know, I feel that some hearts might be, you know, in a space here where they might be broken. I think all I can really say to you is that sometimes a person has to sort of weigh the pros and cons, you know, of short-term pain versus long-term pain, because things like these have a way of not just disappearing, not just going away. And I also feel that for some of you, there might be a space here where certain things are just not spoken about. And I actually feel that it's coming from both sides. So it might be that you are with someone that you are their world, but they're not 100% your world. And you're not speaking about that. But there might also be a space where they are aware of it and they are not speaking about this, but you both sort of, in a way, aware of it. Okay? Not a very nice space to be in. And if it's you, then trust me when I tell you this, I send you all the love from my heart, because that's a challenging space to be in. Okay. All right, let's look at your now space, current space, present space, you, uncharted sea, because I sense you setting your sights higher here. You've got the Queen of Voices, which is the Queen of Swords, and you've got the Emperor. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to draw you another card for this, but there is a space here of not being sure which way to go, because that way seems bad and horrible and terrible, and that way seems, bad and horrible and terrible. So it's almost like whichever way you go, they might almost be equally bad. And this is what I'm going to tell you, Capricorn. I'm never going to try to sugarcoat things for you. Whichever way you go, which for those of you that have the need to exit the situation, because there is a sense of unfulfillment. And I feel that for many of you, there's also a sense of unhappiness. And you thought that in time, and maybe somebody had this conversation with you, I feel, but you felt that in time, you'll get used to it, you'll get over it, you'll grow accustomed to it, it's going to be okay, it's going to be fine. But I almost feel that in your heart of hearts, that it's not going to be fine, that it's not enough, that you need more and that you want more. So whichever way you go, I do feel that there are challenges both ways. Whichever way you exit the situation, let's rather put it like that. There are challenges, but I do also see your focus being forward. And what I would recommend is, and I read this many years ago in a magazine. This is way before, I suppose, the internet was even available to the public, because I don't know, it's probably something like 12 years old or something like that. And I'm 39 now. But I read that even if you don't know what to do, when you can do your best to come from a point of love, you can't go wrong. Because when your intention is love, then you come from that motivation, and the universe has a way of getting on board for you. Now, it doesn't mean that hearts won't be broken, it doesn't mean that harsh words won't be spoken, but I do feel though that when we move from a space, and this is such an important thing to do, when you move from a space that is feeling conflicting, always try and do your best in all areas, not just in life, in love, in life, in your job, in where you're living, whatever. Even if you part with your car, leave a friendship. Always try your best to keep the highest good in mind, to keep the highest love in mind. And with that being said, it is also about placing yourself number one in your own life. Okay? But there's stability that's being promised here for you. Because for some of you, you are feeling incredibly unfulfilled, Capricorn. And even though it might be a challenging day in the beginning, if you can keep your goal on you reaching the highest good within yourself, and you reaching your fullest potential, and you being open to discovering what your fullest potential is, your greatest definition of yourself, your highest, most beautiful, loving, kind, prosperous definition of yourself. If you can keep that goal in mind and you move only towards that goal, and there doesn't have to be a loser in the space, so to speak, then the universe can open things for you here. Okay. I do feel that some of you are moving to a space, so if that's your connection, I feel that some of you are moving into a space where there might be a period of you being on your own. But I do feel, though, that most of you agree with me that that is actually something that you want to have at the moment, because it's almost like you sort of like want to recuperate and sort of like regroup yourself. Because I feel for some of you, there's almost a sense of not being 100% sure of who you are at this particular point in time. You might have given so much of who you are in a connection, or you might even not be with anybody at the moment, but there's still that sort of energy around you, and you want to sort of get that clarity within yourself. I do feel that for some of you. Okay. And that is usually a good thing to do, because you don't really want to take the crap from one connection into a new connection, because that only amplifies the crap. That is like putting crap on a fan, or like putting the thing on high. It just doesn't work. Okay. Now, let's look at your challenges here. We're looking at this exposed and revealed. I feel that for some of you, there might be some level of cheating involved here. Even if it wasn't physical cheating, this might be just maybe coming across some text messages or something like that. And I do feel, though, that in some cases that you might be the one that sort of strayed a little bit over here. But I also feel that in that sense, that in itself should tell you a lot, because if you were happy and fully satisfied in your connection, then, going astray would have probably never been a possibility for you. You know what I'm saying? So you've got the Page of Voices and you've got the Hermit. This is a space of saying that you actually know what to do. Now, there is a huge difference between knowing what to do and actually doing what you need to do. Because what I do love so much here, Capricorn, is I do see a space of you not wanting to hurt anyone. I do see a space of you wanting to be respectful. I do see a space of you, even if this means leaving someone behind, I still feel it being a space of reaching towards the good, reaching towards love, coming from a point of love, having the intention of love. So that is really, really beautiful. But there are obviously a lot of the sort of like stumbling blocks and things in the middle, and like the challenges. But what is being recommended here for you is to take some time out. It's like some of you are really running on empty here. You've run yourself dry. And I feel that it's necessary here to do some recuperation, to stop running, okay? To stop focusing on what isn't there and what isn't working, because remember, whatever we focus on is what we also bring into our life. But there's real beauty that's available here for you. And if even if you're in a space with these two cards, and this is really what they're revealing for you, Capricorn, if you're in a space where you don't know what to do and you're unsure what it is that you need to do, you do, or let's rather put it this way, you know what it is that you need to do, but you can't really see how it is that you're going to bring that about. If you can bring yourself into a space of just sort of like literally physically stopping running, so not just within yourself, but I feel that for some of you it's also from the outer side. There's a call here for a halt, for a silence, to maybe stop running, to stop trying to go, and to kind of almost bring yourself towards yourself, in a sense of the word. The solution will present itself. Okay, so the solution will present itself for you, but it does require that you stop and breathe and allow the solution to present itself, because otherwise you can have that solution presenting itself in your front door as a huge sort of billboard, so big that you can hardly get past it, and you might even need to take a different door to get out of your house or climb to the window. But if you don't if you don't stop and look at it for a moment, you won't see it, and you can't get the clarity. So there is a definite guidance here for you, Capricorn, to take a little bit of a breather, to take a little bit of a time out, to practice some self-kindness. And if you were the one that has gone astray, to also maybe just take some time to actually forgive yourself for that, because I feel a lot of guilt and a lot of strong emotions are being carried through. Even if it was the other person, I feel that there's a lot of blame here, that you're putting a lot of the blame on yourself, And whilst it is fantastic for you to claim responsibility, doesn't mean that you have to almost be like that martyr that takes yourself down, All right, so let's look at this potential outcome for you, seeing beyond, because there's a beautiful, okay, that's way too many cards. That one wants to come out. Okay, that's a cool one. Okay, so for the seeing beyond, you have got the Seven of Voices, which is the Seven of Swords, and the Eight of Inspirations, which is the Eight of Wands. This is a space of moving forward. What I also like is that, and I like this very much when I see this, some of you are moving into the space, some of you already are, but this is actually where you are realizing that even if you kind of want to make something work, it's almost a realization that it won't, that this is not the best choice, this is not the best decision. And I do feel that this doesn't come from a selfish point. So it's not just thinking about you. This is actually realizing that somebody's going to have to make the cut here. And I do feel that there's a space maybe of having that conversation, how about maybe some second chances? How about we try again? But it's almost like you have that realization within yourself that if you try again, and again, I feel that you might have been the one that sort of like, might have been involved here in being with someone else, maybe cheating like that. There is almost a realization within yourself that even if the other person that you're with, even if they try their hardest, it's just not fulfilling enough for your soul. So you know that you're going to do what you've done before again. And I feel that there's a realization here that you do know that you have to step forward, that, maybe... it doesn't mean that you obviously set out with this connection. for it to be the way where it is right now. But this is almost a space of like, well, it is what it is. I can't really change it, I do also feel that for some of you, even though you might be dealing with somebody really, really amazing, it might be some of your patterns that brought you to one another. And whilst you might have been a really amazing lesson for each other, it's sort of like it's graduation time now, Okay. Direct message for you from the universe. You've got the Fool, you've got the Two of Cups, and you've got the Queen of Pentacles. New beginning, okay? New beginning, new love, working on something very special and something very beautiful, okay? Which I do feel is, it could be with the same person, but I remember it as a general reading, but I feel a new beginning, a beautiful coming together, and working on something beautiful with someone else. This could be a person that really has changed quite a lot, but I do feel that for the most part, that this is someone else. Okay, so that's what I got for you. I hope that it helps you, Capricorn. Again, if the video resonates with you, I'd really appreciate you liking the video. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Remember to hit that notification bell. And I'll see you next time.